Hello and welcome to Nebuchadnezzar. And we actually had some music there from one of the progenitors to this game. That was from the soundtrack to the Impressions published game. Oh no, was it Sierra that published them? I can't remember. It was Impressions that did the games anyway. So yeah, Pharaoh was one of them, and there was the three Caesar games. There was Zeus. There was it Emperor something ancient Egypt, not ancient Egypt, ancient China. I can't remember the exact title of that one. It was kind of a boring title, but yeah, there was a whole bunch of them, and this is basically in that exact same vein. This is a spiritual successor, only this time it's set in ancient Mesopotamia. Now, I haven't actually played this yet. I've fired it up to make sure it works. It came out only yesterday. I've fiddled with the settings a little bit, but I'm basically going into this blind, apart from my knowledge of playing many hours of the Impressions city builders previously. So we'll see how similar it is. We'll see how I get on. Sam's also not cooperating at the moment, which is great. So yeah, let's plow in. So there's a campaign mode. There are individual scenarios as well, although at the moment that's blank. Maybe they're coming later, I don't know. I presume there will be a sandbox mode added at some point. It's also come out of the gate with Steam Workshop mod support, so we'll see some of those popping up presumably. But for now, let's start the campaign and see what we get given. The one thing I have noticed about this so far, by the way, is there's some kind of slightly weird, like this is definitely, the mouse is going through some kind of software layer. It definitely feels not quite like it should. I don't know. Anyway, so basically, initial settlement to the fall of Babylon. So yeah, it's got quite a grand premise, I suppose. But the campaigns for those Impressions city builders tended to stretch over similar spans of history. I mean, Pharaoh went from, when did you start? It was before the two kingdoms became the two kingdoms, but it did stretch across quite a span of time. So we're starting off at 10,000 to 8,700 BC. So let's have a go. Let's see what that gives us. So we're going to start. Oh, okay, yeah, this is our objective. So population is 300, wheat and bread 20, and 12 shacks. So that's going to be the development level that we need to get to. And I presume this is where we're starting. So a bit of blurb there. Yeah, I mean, they obviously would have done... I've been following the screenshots, and I think I've seen a trailer or two. They've obviously really done their homework with this game. Don't know how super accurate it's going to be, but we'll see. We'll also try the normal difficulty, see how that goes. I don't think I can even... I can't even really point the camera at Sam at the moment. It would just topple over itself. It'd have to be pointed straight down at him for where he sat on the floor. You're being very awkward, Cat. You know that. He's looking at me. He doesn't care. How about if I put another treat in the box? Yeah, I know you know that's the treats bag. How about some bribery? Go on, bribery. Feline bribery. Go on, in there. Can we get it to stay in the box is the question. So this is the very familiar isometric style. They really haven't messed with the formula at all. We've got basically everything, but just with a more modern UI, it looks like. Because you go back and play Pharaoh and Emperor Rise of the Middle Kingdom. There we go, that's what it's called. Yeah, that's one of the things that does strike you, is that there's some very odd buttons for the UI, the menu shortcuts and things, and yeah, it's not at all like modern games, so it can throw you a bit. So we are in a spot where we can get things started, and can we... Oh, it's WASD keys to move around, I think. Yes, it is. which is definitely something the old games didn't do. So it's not a huge map we're starting off with, but we're not building a huge city to start with, and we've got all kinds of terrain that looks like, so presumably this is going to be more fertile. We've got some trees up here which I presume we'll be able to harvest for wood. I can actually zoom in far enough that it starts to look a bit pixely, but the whole thing, I mean, it downloaded, it was about like 500-600 megabytes, so, you know, compared to a lot of games these days, this is pretty lightweight. But it's still probably bigger in size than when Pharaoh would have been, or Caesar 3. Right, so he'll be my guide for the first few missions, so we can turn the things off, but let's actually just leave it on for now, see what the tutorial is like. We might be able to remove building. We might be able to remove these mounds. Rocks. I'm not really sure if they're rocks or if it's like, you know, just raised dirt terrain. It's not entirely clear. How to move windows. Okay. Close windows, right click. Do let me know what the sound levels are like, by the way. I've turned the music off just for when I was coming in to, you know, start the stream with different music, but obviously there's background noises and things as well. So WASD keys, that's fine. Move the cursor to get to the screen and grab the map using the middle mouse button. Okay. Zoom out. Da, 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 da. We'll just speed up the game, which is up the top left hand corner. Okay, that's actually, like, I'm so used to Paradox games having all that stuff up here. That's going to throw me a little bit, but never mind. Oh, you can actually, there's a key for, hold it down and let it go. Okay, if you want to speed things up a little bit. Interesting. Unusual. Okay, yeah, I'll try turning the game sound down a bit. It's all separate sliders for things, so try that about there. Should still be audible. Hey, Sergeant Kelly. Well, that's going back a ways. That's been a while. Back when I played Ye Olde World of Tanks. Game speed. Okay, number keys. This is just interface stuff. This is all fine. It's got a lot of different ways of doing the same thing, basically. And there's an in-game wiki. Okay. So we can click on things and it's got the Civilopedia, basically. Right, add some houses. So this is our building menu down at the bottom here, presumably. So we've got, that's our remove tool, infrastructure, warehouse, houses. Build 4 houses in the highlighted area. Where's the highlighted area? Ah, over here. Okay. I've got quite a big footprint, actually. And I wonder if you... Okay, it looks like you actually build the house, whereas in the old games it used to just designate plots for houses. Yeah, exactly, Isham. They've basically taken that exact same formula. And, you know, the whole Walker system and neighborhood desirability. I presume the production buildings will all work the same. Oh, okay, it wanted me to learn to drag stuff, but that's fine. Now it wants me to do some roads. So yeah, it's just stuff, it looks like you just instantly build stuff without them having to move in and build it, but presumably it will upgrade the same way. So here we go, we can see we've got 30 out of 30 people living there. And no other information at the moment, but presumably they'll need certain services and goods before they can upgrade. Oh, right, there is a right-click menu. I'm so used to right-clicking to move. It's middle mouse or WASD keys. Okay, I'll get it into my head eventually. Let's have a look at the mission objectives. Advisor tab is that one. So it wants me... So we've got the population, we need wheat and bread now. Build a farm, that seems simple enough. It's going to be food production, crop farm, bakery. And oh, at the moment it's restricting me to that one specific spot, but I'm going to guess you can only build farms on the grassy land. That's going to be the fertile land, just like Pharaoh. Problem is the farm doesn't have any fields where it could grow crops. To build a field... so this is like... Pharaoh was... You had individual fields that... Like, Caesar 3, I seem to remember you had fields you could put down in certain places. But with... Pharaoh... Did you have a separate farm building, or was that just Emperor? And I think Zeus did that as well. But you put down the farm building and then you need separate farm plots, it looks like, which is basically what whatchamacallem, the Anno games do that as well. Where you'll put down a central building and then build kind of, production areas around it. Yeah, there we go. Sam's actually now... Well, he's kind of...
So be it.
I don't know, he's got the ears back a bit. He's looking a bit perturbed, unsettled. So we've got... Oh, I see. So this is the different jobs. So we've got farmers and haulers. Right, so... Well, why exactly 36 fields? You'll see it currently employs 2 farmers. Where is it? It wants me to look... The farm window. Oh, okay, these things here. That's current number of fields tended by a given farmer. Second is the maximum number of fields the farmer can tend per year. Okay, so this is basically like the optimum number of fields. So 18 fields per farmer, so 18 individual small squares, which would be 2 bigger squares. Right, so they're now so presumably you could have that. Does that mean there's space for even more? Oh, you can actually manually add slots for more haulers, more farmers. Okay. Presumably if I put down more fields, that would then have even more farmers. Right, so crops are going to be cultivated specifically for a specific part of the year, so presumably would also need, just like Pharaoh, where everything is very, very seasonal and all around the flood, so you need to have adequate food storage. Well, in this case it wants us to build the bakery first. Okay, so it's telling me about haulers, limited range, they won't transport goods to buildings too far. Range can be displayed using the flag. Okay. So that tells you the maximum range where the haulers from that building will take stuff. 2 bakeries in the highlighted area. So in this case we're just going to build bakeries right next to it, but presumably you would then use warehouses later on to provide central points and extend the effective range. So, build 2 warehouses, that's exactly what we're doing there. We need to make sure everything's set up just right. So, warehouse configuration, just like the Impressions games. Also, I completely missed AGC sub, so thank you very much. I heard the thing come up and then I was so busy blathering that I just, yeah. Right, so it wants me to configure them to use to accept only specific goods. So 1 to only accept wheat and 1 to only accept bread. That's fine. And that is a big loaf of bread. I guess they're, so you can get a good sense of what's being in there, but I kind of miss the old, the more, well, semi-realistic piles of goods you had in the Impressions games, but never mind, that's a minor artistic quibble. Sometimes a warehouse is still storing goods you don't want there. To remove them, you won't need to do anything complicated, so you won't need to destroy the warehouse. Destroy all goods. Okay, so you can empty out goods instantly. if you want to. Right. Okay, so basically this is like it, you know, just wait until they've gotten crops and turned the wheat into bread, and you know, it's what, 20 wheat, 20 bread? Yeah. So we can actually, I think, fast forward this bit. Ah, so that's always, okay, the time dilation, or the time, so if you hold down the E key, it's always 4 times whatever the current speed is. So if I hold that down, that's 12 times. So you can like make it go past super fast. Presumably that is, yeah. Okay, so you can really speed up time with that. So how are we doing with basically almost filled that warehouse up already. Yeah, I don't like, this is the one thing I'm seeing so far that I don't particularly like, is how the goods look in the warehouses. Like the houses look great, although they maybe could have standed to make things a little bit higher resolution, because you can zoom in so much that things start to look a bit blurry. But otherwise, it's, you know, it's reasonably nice and smooth looking. It has that aesthetic down very well. So yeah, let's just speed things up until we've done the objective. So we've got all the bread. We just need wheat being stored, basically, because the wheat's being turned into bread. But now that's full, I'm guessing the wheat will just get stockpiled. Yeah, there it goes. Is this fairly early access? It just came out, Armour. It's been released, but I don't know if the game is fully, like, I don't know if they have every feature yet. There's as I saw on the menu, there is a scenario tab, but there's no actual scenarios yet, and there's no sandbox mode either, which I presume there will be. Because, you know, that was a fairly big staple of the Impressions games as well. It's not just the campaigns, but being able to make whatever you wanted. So, next mission. We are up to presumably around... Okay, we've moved up a bit. 8700 to 6500 BC. Pre-pottery Neolithic B. Catchy name. Okay, there's a whole bunch of like, interesting history tidbits here. Anyway, so this time around we want 900 population, and I presume that's going to be the next level of houses, so we'll have to provide them with enough everything. There are also many grazing animals, so this is presumably going to be round up some animals to sort of domesticate. I've started with a bunch of houses already. How do we get rid of these? Okay, right, that's fine. I think this time actually we'll try and do it without the tutorial. I'll see if I can figure out... Again, I'm trying to right click to move around it. It's not that. So do we have an actual representation on the map of animals wandering around? Because you used to. We can see some fish hopping around in the river. Right, so objectives. We started off with about half the population we need. And we need to get to the next level of houses from this. So, buildings, we have warehouse, house, crop farm still, but also bakery, and I presume the market will be needed to upgrade. The level. Right, so it looks like you can build a farm anywhere actually. I wonder if they're just more productive on the grass areas. Hey, Foo. It's not entirely clear, but yeah, let's get a farm built. And that gives me space to put fields all around. So that's 18, that's 27, that's 36. In fact, we could get 54. So that, if I add another set of farmers, 15 out of 18, why isn't it? Ah, because those aren't... Okay, so yes, your fields do need to be on... Oh, okay, that's how we remove... Or we can do it that way, but presumably I can also just click it. So the... yes. Okay, that's how the grass works then. So you can put the actual farm building anywhere, but the field needs to be on the green stuff. Just slide in an extra... Oh, 3... Oh, no, that's out of range. Oh, well, okay, this isn't a fully efficient farm then. Just because of how I've placed it down, but never mind. Right, so we've got that. We are going to want... What was it? Warehouse, which we'll put right next door. Can have that just be for wheat. We also have milk as our other resource, and presumably we need the livestock farm to get that. Yeah, that was quite some game, wasn't it? Especially, like, it shows you the power and potential of the Minotaur, but it... Oh, okay, that's just... Presumably that's going to be grabbed from other places, export to other places, so... Anyway, but for now we just want that to be wheat, that's fine. Yeah, but it shows just how kind of chancy playing the Minotaur can be as well. Right, we'll have the bakery... I don't know, let's just try putting it there. We're going to want another warehouse as well, which will slip in next to it. So that can be bread. And how do we tell? Is that employment? Yes, that's employment, that number up there. So 63% unemployment at the moment. So that's unemployment rather than employment. I wonder if you could click to toggle between the... No, okay. Right, a livestock farm, I'm going to assume also needs to be on the green stuff. So I guess there. This is going to presumably follow the same rules. So 15... 24, 27. So there's 36. What was the number? 50 something. And I'll just add in more. 5 out of 18, so just fill in the rest basically. Okay, and again, yeah, it's only on the green areas that you can have the pasture. So the animals just magically appear. Okay. And they aren't otherwise on the map, it's just the game saying, oh hey, there's some animals here you can domesticate. I presume these are like goats? It doesn't actually say. So again, what was warehouse? Actually, we might be able to squeeze a few more bits of fields. 2 more in that gap. So that's going to be milk. And then we're going to want a market, but we're also going to need more. Yeah, it's a slightly odd artistic mix. It reminds me almost of Like the fact you can visibly see the grid. It almost reminds me of SimCity 2000. Which is going way back. Because that was, I think that was isometric view as well, wasn't it? SimCity 2000. Right, how... Is there, there is a stats screen somewhere, isn't there? Production versus consumption. Might even want another wheat warehouse. Just so we're not wasting anything. Are we making enough? Presumably they won't consume bread until I actually get the market going. Now this obviously, this blue square is the range, and there's not quite enough range for all of the existing houses. So I'll put one. Now, do these... I don't know if the warehouses actually hire people. Right, so that's in range of bread, but not necessarily in range of the milk, so we might have to go and... We might have to have yet another warehouse that gets both milk and bread. We'll say, right, is that going to go and, are they going to go and fetch? Oh wait, I've just had a thought, hang on. That needs to be within range of that, doesn't it? Which I don't think it is. This is definitely, like, the fact it has a range to deal with. It's actually a bit of a limiting factor. I can foresee having to build many more warehouses than one had to in... Right, if I built... Right, how about that? That's more in range of the farm. I'll have that say I want all the milk. And can we have that? I presume that's emptying rather than filling. We'll see what happens. Just trying to figure out how this works exactly. Apparently that's still not close enough. Get rid of that. We'll actually reposition that as well. Right, you've got now access to both. Milk and... It'd be nice if it would... tell you exactly which is which. Maybe it does in a tutorial somewhere. Right, they're not actually... How do I tell them to go get stuff? Maybe I was a bit too hasty going past the the tutorial. Right, livestock, distribution of goods and services. Sellers distribute goods to houses and also provide services. Sellers follow along the route specified by player. Ah, so you actually have some control over it. Supply all houses along this route. Do I have to add... Ah, I have to actually add sellers. Ah, that's not an automatic thing. Right, so, okay. So they're now going to grab bread and milk, so we need to add... Ah, so the range I saw is literally just... could have to walk the opposite way, I suppose. Oh. How do I edit that? Come on. Oh. Still trying to figure out this UI. Okay, it's the -2 remove. So maybe they don't have that, like that blue, that's just like their collection range. Maybe that's empty. Well, I don't know. Are you emptying? Can't really tell. I might just have to delete that. Which is a bit of a waste of the milk in it, but never mind. We'll produce more. I think we could probably also stand to make another bakery. And once we get this working, we'll build some more houses, I suppose. Probably even build a bit of road here. We'll get there faster. So yeah, the fact you have some control over it is nice, because that was always a bit of a mixed bag with the Impressions games, was the walkers could be a bit unpredictable. Whereas here you can exactly specify what routes you want them to take. So here we go. What have we got? Houses.
So be it, Jedi.
Show me where. Right, people leaving because they're not getting enough milk. Storage full. Does this mean we're going to want more haulers? Let's try putting some more haulers in there. So we seem to be producing milk, but just not moving it out quick enough. Okay. Hey, Opahik, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime. Have I actually caught you live on stream? No, this is a recording. Same company as Tropico. This is some... I can't even remember the name of it, but it's the first game of this studio that I've seen. I mean, they're playing it fairly safe. They're going for a very solid set of design choices, you know, that have already been well established. So they're not doing anything revolutionary here. It's literally just using the same mechanics of... Like, how old are we talking? 20 plus years for some of these games? So they're not doing anything revolutionary. Anyway, apparently we got to over 900s. Like, those houses actually upgraded. And the upgraded houses, of course, hold more people, so that's fine. $1,350 people that we're aiming for this time, and 16 standard houses. So 6,500 to 3,800 BC. And I think we're getting into irrigation now, as well as maybe things like pottery. I don't know. So now we're playing at Eridu. Right, I think I'll leave the tutorial on this time, just so I know what's, you know, I'm not flailing quite so much. So a slightly less hospitable map, not really a lot of growing areas. Quite deserty overall. So presumably this is going to introduce us to irrigation and producing our own areas. And there's actually only one channel to the river, it looks like. So this is going to be our kind of main farming area, I suppose, is the idea. Right, irrigation to create fertile soil in areas which are not necessarily or naturally fertile. So, okay. Build one livestock farm. Which is saying we don't have any people living there. Add one crop farm. Oh, we also got clay mines. Yeah, so we are actually making pottery this time. And wells are being introduced also. Okay. Oh, no, it was crop farm. Build irrigation canals in the highlighted area to continue. Right, so I'm going to find those there. Okay, irrigation pump, irrigation canals. We have to build the canal around the farm building itself, I presume. Well, we'll find out. Don't contain any water. We're needing an irrigation pump. We'll build there. Because the water's now flowing in the canals, but there isn't enough for the whole system. That's because each pump only has a limited power, can only fill a limited number of canal pieces. So build 2 additional pumps. And some more channels there as well. Okay, irrigation is now set up. Build a warehouse. And then build some road. I mean, it all looks very nice. It's just when you zoom in, everything gets slightly blurry. You start to see the limitations. I wonder if that was a deliberate choice to keep the file size down a bit. It'd be nice if there was some higher resolution option you could choose later on. 36 wheat fields, 36 goat pastures. Right. So... 12, and I like that it tells you how many you've got in total. So 33, 34, 35, 36, and 12, and then it's 33, 34, 35, 36. Right, space is valuable. Okay. Building a separate warehouse for each type of goods. So this is going to presumably tell me how to shift goods around, as I was trying to do in the previous one. This warehouse will be used as a storage point for products from farms, while other buildings will take the products they need from the warehouse. So we'll deactivate all goods except for wheat and milk, so we can do that. Okay, maximum capacities, 28 for wheat and 8 for milk. Milk's produced the same rates through the year, while wheat's only harvested during a few months of the year. Okay, that makes sense. Info layer. Okay, yeah, this was an important part of the older games, was being able to see what was where. So, any goods in the upper panel? Oh, up here. There we go. So specifically we can see food production. Presumably there'll be other layers later on for things like how much water availability and fire risk and crime and all that sort of thing. Okay. Yep, advisor panel is that one. Which is just, yeah, that's all the stuff basically, so you can look it up at any time. It does have a nice set of tutorial things, this game. Like some games kind of throw you in at the deep end, but no, this is reasonably well done, I think. No disasters yet. This is only the 3rd mission, so it's still tutorializing quite heavily. Right, so we want, what was it, 1350 and 16 standard houses out of that lot. So we need basically a bunch of houses, and I think this area here would seem to be the best spot. Oh, V. And then there we go. Right, so there are some hotkeys. Right, then we're going to want some roads around this lot. Right. So we go, we have people being employed, that's fine so far. Don't think you can get rid of these rock formations. Yeah, I've actually played the demo of the, what is it, like Masters of Egypt or something like that? It was very buggy. I wasn't super impressed, to be honest. But I realised that it was in a very early state. And it was also going with far more 3D graphics rather than the... Like, it was still isometric, but it was kind of fully 3D graphics rather than the older style sprite graphics. Right, so we need the bakery and... oh, that's well in range of the... That's fine. And we need the market as well. And we've also got clay and ceramic to get started with. So there we are, market. We can actually fit that. Ah, I was hoping we could fit that in there, but we cannot. I might actually get rid of that house there. Right, I'll figure out where everything is eventually, I swear. Right, so we need to manually add roots. Right, I've done a bit of an awkward setup, clearly. Hang on. Right, we want them to go, say, around this way and then around this way. Okay, there we go. And we'll do the same here, except just the other way round, because why not? Okay. So they're now walking back and forth. We've got wheat and milk being delivered. And I presume pottery is the next step. We might even just have enough houses once they've upgraded. I might not actually need to build more houses. I'm going to assume water is a thing I will also need. But that... Okay, we can't build that on the rocky looking areas. Right. So that needs a path. And we need to set them to walk around in the same way. It's a slightly more awkward path, but that's fine. We still have plenty of people. So we're at the shack level still. I didn't even realise people had left. Right, we maybe want more farms? Although it's not really left me a lot of options in terms of building more irrigation. I think I can squeeze in one more pump at most into the space they've provided. So there we go, poorhouse, that's at the second level now. It'd be nice if there was an overlay for that. Prestige, statistics, trade diplomacy. Population 700, average house level. Total prestige 4. Guessing that's just kind of the scoring system. Anyway, people still moving in though. And we might want to... Well, we've only got the one... Like, given... Well, I don't know. Does it, like, cost us anything extra to... Don't have any kind of detailed budget screen at the moment, so let's try adding more haulers. That seems to be fine with just one hauler. It doesn't tell me necessarily stored good wheats are there. Wait, are they both... Oh no, that's a bakery. Well, I was thinking I was looking at the... It's the market I should be looking at. I was thinking, why are they both... Why is the market storing wheat? No, that's the bakery. So that's fine. I wonder if we could even add another baker there. Oh yeah, that's happening today, isn't it? The oh, what's it called? Perseverance. So yeah, do keep tabs on that for me. I kind of can't at the moment, but yeah, have been vaguely aware of that news. So population 732. So I'm assuming people have, like, the water walker is. Doing their business, I think. Can add another water walker there. Now what we can do is maybe make this a bit... Now obviously the bigger the route, the more time it's going to take them to cover that route, so we could have them do that and then have this walker do... Well, that's not that efficient. I kind of want them to not do those houses as well, but anyway. I'll make sure everyone's got an even supply of water. Bread, not that even at the moment, despite having the 3 bakers. I don't know, can we manage another... bakery, maybe? I do kind of miss... I'm sure there's a way of having it so there's more foot traffic at the moment. It's just the walkers rather than any general foot traffic. I wonder if there's some... Size of pedestrians high. Oh, we'll have to restart the game before we can... Never mind. We'll save it just so it does it for next time. But yeah, when you had your market sellers in the Impressions games, they'd have little trains of market boys behind them, and yeah. I wonder if you can... Wait, can I click on the... Ah, you used to be able to click on the people and they'd say things about, you know... They'd have a good moan about how far they had to walk, or they'd say what they liked about the city or what they didn't like. So I missed that. It's a pity they haven't done that. So what is it we are... I think it's bread's the bottleneck, so I think we're going to have to... Yeah, we'll have to do another bakery. I think if we have another bakery, it should be fine in terms of the wheat input versus output. I seem to be accumulating a bit more wheat than we're using with just the one bakery. What is it, cat? You're demanding attention. So we're nearly 900 now? I think this honestly might be enough houses. Yeah, that's it. They're testing out a little helicopter, essentially, to see if that's a feasible thing for future exploration. Because, of course, Mars has a very thin atmosphere compared to Earth. It's one of the reasons why they need, in addition to parachutes, they also need big bouncy airbags or retro rockets or flying sky cranes or whatever to land stuff. Because there just isn't enough drag coming in from the atmosphere to slow you down enough. Right, it's not poking me about it yet, but let's see if we can't figure out what we need to do with... Okay, again, we can just place these anywhere that isn't a rocky area. And I guess we'll want it reasonably close by. So that produce clay. We'll need a warehouse, which is there. And we are going to want pots. I think I'll have to... Well, is that within range? Not quite. Okay, we'll move that. So that's going to be clay and all pots. And then we're going to need ceramic workshops. Now, I presume that neighborhood desirability is going to be a thing, but it doesn't seem to be a thing yet because we're still on the tutorial stages of the game. So we'll figure out if that's enough production for, like, if we can have more than one workshop or add some workers. And we can presumably then also add a walker. Oh. To take round pots, and we can do the same. Like the same circular route. And immediately we get houses going up to standard house. So there we go. Clay production doesn't seem to happen very quickly, so it seems like maybe one clay pit per workshop. We could add more workers though. Right, in terms of bread and pottery. We're still a bit behind with bread, so let's add more bakers to that bakery there. We might end up bottlenecking a bit with wheat production, but there's not a lot I can do about that, unfortunately. It'd be nice if you could see how much they're carrying exactly, the walkers, but yeah, I presume as they go around it's going to be they're kind of distributing, and so by the end they might have run out. But it's not really, I don't know if there's a way of seeing that. Right, full storage. Oh, we don't have yeah, bread's going straight to the market, so we don't necessarily have bread storage, so let's build another warehouse actually. We need one that's in, so it's just touching the there we go, so yeah, that is bread only. We're starting to get a little bit more clay stockpiled there. So let's try adding another potter. So yeah, we need a steadier supply of bread, basically. Which we ought to be able to get from... yeah. The only downside is... so we've got these 3 sellers, we've only got two lots of haulers. So it might even be worth having a separate market just for the pottery, or maybe like pottery and bread perhaps. I think we'll do that, so we'll set up another market, which is going to be there. I'm sure there's a fair bit of artistic license with this game, Armor. So is that in... oh, it's in range of one but not the other, which is a bit of a pain. What's the way we can do that? Okay, yes, but it involves replacing a house. Which we can do. It's fine, it's one of the nice houses, but we can just put another house. What was I looking for? House there. Market there. So we say, you're going to do bread, you're going to do pottery. Right. Hopefully this works. Fingers crossed. I could probably even get another clay mine and potter going. Should be fine. What are we doing for pop? 1308, we're probably not that far off. Okay, we just need a couple more houses then. Like 3 more to upgrade to standard houses, which we do have the houses, they just need to upgrade. So, I think we'll hold down E, this should finish fairly soon. Should be like 1 more house needed. That one. 2 more houses. 1 more house. So that's probably the biggest single improvement on the old Impressions games, where you had to, like, the only way you could set where walkers could and couldn't go was via the use of road blockers, basically. The walker logic wasn't always as ideal. You sometimes had to spam down distribution buildings closer than you wanted to, just because they wouldn't quite cover all of a given area. Right, they kind of keep hovering around. I don't know. We're kind of getting there, but not quite getting there. Let's build those extra pottery production buildings. I think we're sort of getting like close enough to get what, you know, like 1 away, and then it's not quite enough. So clay mine, and that's within range of the warehouse. That's fine. And then another ceramic workshop there. And we have the population to add more people to both. That's absolutely a-okay. Oh, he's in the box again, but he's in a different box now. Hang on. He has a wealth of boxes. He is, you know, a spoiled cat. So spoiled. You were a pig today. Okay. What does that translate to? You ate a whole moose. I don't know. Okay, so, you know, not all that healthy, alright. But I'm sure there are people who would think that was really nothing. Right, so there we go. We had all the houses upgraded that we needed. Next mission. So, we're into the Uruk period. 4000 to 3100 BC. So, yeah, sort of a bit of history about periods, although most of it's saying, yeah, we don't actually know that much. Okay. I think that might be a bit of a bug, the fact that we're still getting the background chatter whilst in loading menus and whatever. Right, for the first time we are doing something at the behest of a king, apparently. Build the city of Uruk, and in it a grand temple to the goddess Inanna. Okay. So it's going to be a little more hands off this time. Hello, what? Hello. Meow. Oh, okay. I was wondering about this. The range of haulers can be very limiting and won't let you transport goods long distances, but that's what caravans are for. Caravans transport goods between warehouses, no matter how far they are apart from each other. So this is how you build up your warehouse infrastructure. Okay. Their route needs to be manually configured. Okay. Apparently I'm not the king this time. Second mechanic is monuments, and that was a big thing in Pharaoh particularly, and some of the other games as well. But Pharaoh, you could literally build pyramids and grand temples and the like. Okay, so 2000 population, 32 standard houses. So we'll be up to the level of pottery and whatnot again. Completed monuments, 1. Depending how long this particular mission takes, this might be the last one I do on the stream for now. We'll see. Right, so okay, there's the caravan building. Anything else that's new? Brickworks. Presumably we'll need the brickworks for the monument. And we actually have some kind of beautification stuff. So grass, small garden. And there's the monument building stuff. Okay. I mean, it's not like you don't work out Latika Mafia, so... yeah. Don't think you need to feel too bad about it. Oh, okay, I didn't quite mean to... hang on. Will it let me... okay, yes, I can middle mouse click. That's a bit better. Trying to go to the edge of the screen while doing that is not ideal. Let's just do one big block of houses there. So, farming, first things first, and we can now do irrigation to create bigger farming areas too. Yeah, let's do crop farm. That's pretty much all within the green area. Let's just start that there for now. That'll be wheat. Oh, we need to do pathing first, don't we? Right, so let's just fill the whole thing and then... there we go. That's a bunch of people there, so we could have a livestock farm there, and then we can try out this new caravan mechanic. Yes, we can fit that there. I will figure out... oh, no, house. I'll figure out where all the things are eventually, honestly. I will. Maybe. Sam. No. You don't play with the cables. You know you don't play with the cables. Right, so that is going to take only milk. So then we're going to want to set up a caravan and then have a distribution warehouse over here somewhere. So that's going to be there. I'll figure it eventually. Right, caravan. And we want you to get wheat and we want you to get milk. Will they deliver? And then do I have to deliver that to another caravan at the other end, or can that deliver straight to a warehouse? Sam, no, come on. No. Right. Currently operated warehouses. Oh, so I think we set them from warehouse to warehouse. How do I go like... oh, yeah, okay, yeah, okay, that's fine. So I just set it from warehouse to warehouse. It's not... I don't need another caravan at the other end. Okay, so we'll set a warehouse there. Configure that to accept that, and there. So that's all our kind of thingamy goods. 12 of each. So we can go, you are going to take stuff from, from there to there. And you are going to take stuff from there to there. Okay, so this is how we get chains of goods going around the city. Might as well get a market set up now as well. Oh wait, that's... Oh, I've just realised that's wheat. No, we don't want that to be wheat. We want one that's taking bread. Yeah, we need the bakeries first. I'm skipping an important step. So let's get a pair of bakeries. And... give that a little bit of space for bread, and then what we're doing is we're taking the bread from there to there. Right, that's okay. We were definitely skipping a step. Okay. So why... So they're moving back and forth, but they're not actually taking goods yet? So I think we can build a straighter road here. Okay, I'm a little bit confused. Caravans visiting warehouses without being configured to load or... I've done... I need to... How do we set that then? Whether to load or unload. Ah, is that what these things are? So... we say load and then we say unload? Is that what the little triangles mean? Yes, okay, that is indeed what the little triangles mean. So green will accept, red is to export. Okay. So now they're moving stuff over to that. That's fine. Now we can get a market going. And we can say we're going to get a seller of bread and a seller of milk. They're right next to the distribution warehouse, so that's fine. We've got a really nice simple route going on here as well. Right, so that's bread and milk being distributed. So the next thing is water and pottery. But I guess we'll see if we have enough... don't actually have enough people, although we do have now people moving in. So there we go. They're now being fully worked. Yeah, it does add a lot of... what's this warning me about? Oh, is it just there isn't enough stuff there? I guess if there's an empty warehouse it's trying to collect from, it'll flag it for you. Yeah, a lot of games with any kind of logistic, like, so this was always a thing with Surviving Mars, and I don't think they ever quite got where I wanted them to be with Surviving Mars. It's being able to get goods around a map where you need them to be. With Surviving Mars, you ended up just having to spam the wee flying drones. So we're now up to over 1,200. So that's fine, and the distribution looks absolutely a-okay in terms of nobody being left out. So now we can build a well, get that going. So I'll walk around with water. And hopefully that will be fine with just the one. We can always add more workers to that if need be. But there definitely isn't the same level of control you have over the workers that you had in the... like there was this whole separate worker panel where you could do things like set wages and how many people were working in each industry. But yeah. Right, one does seem to be fine for that. It was over... Yeah, it was over 2k. I think this group of houses will be more than enough once we get the houses up to the right level. We might need some more food production. In fact, we probably will need more food production as the number of people living here increase. What? What is it, Bossy Boots? Meow meow. I seem to be keeping up so far, but yeah, I'm not sure we are so much maybe with the wheat. So let's do that then. Let's expand our food production and then get going with pottery. Meow. It's a bit different. It's basically the mechanics from a quite old series of games at this point, made by a company called Impressions, or published. I can't even remember which way around it was, but yeah, they had quite a distinctive set of features that this studio's basically just copied wholesale. So there's not really a huge amount that's original here. It's very iterative. The one truly new feature is being able to manually set the route of the different kinds of distributors. But bear in mind, you know, this is going through the campaign mission, so they're just slowly adding things in terms of complexity. Right, so we'll build... We'll build another crop farm that's in range of that. How do we make the best use of the space here? We could build one there and then build some irrigation over here. Well, that's the most direct route. And irrigation canal, we can just kind of build like along there. And... say along that side. Don't. Well, I guess we'll see. I might need more than. Yeah, I'm going to need more than one pump. And that makes that area green. So is that enough? Oh, I should be able to get up to 36 here. Sam! Behave. Okay, that's a bit of irrigation going on there. And we'll probably be able to add another bakery off that, actually. Food production is also still there. Okay. Right, in terms of the milk distribution, I'll probably have to set up another caravan because, yeah, if we build more irrigation here, that's fine. It's just that's nowhere near that warehouse. Well, that's okay. We have plenty of people needing employment still. Yeah, that's looking fine. Right. Right, livestock farm. place it, say, there. Dirt road. We need the irrigation first, aren't we? What? What's you meowing at me for, cat? Irrigation pump, and then we need one more. Oh, no, that's path. Sam! Stop it! Behave. Cats. Right. So we need another warehouse for that milk. And then... caravan to take milk from there to there, and we need to remember to set that to export milk. That's fine. So now we need to get pottery going, and this will expand the number of people living here. And then we can start thinking about temples and whatnot. Right, so if I say build that there, we're going to need a warehouse for the clay as well. So that's fine. How are we doing for unemployment? Once the houses start upgrading, we'll have more people available to be employed, so that's fine. We'll also add, there we go. And we can fast forward things a bit. That is just accepting pottery, that's okay. We don't need caravans or anything fancy there. Oh, and what we'll need to do is set another... What are you saying? If people just have... Are they full of bread? Are they too much bread? Is that why this flag is here? I'm getting a bit confused about the... I don't know. Right, so now we set up a pottery walker. And there we go, houses upgrading, bunch of people moving in, way more population coming in, so we'll build another clay mine. And we'll build another ceramic workshop there. Yeah, we need more pottery. Keep those fully upgraded. Food-wise, we are doing absolutely a-okay. That was a quick turnaround. How are we doing in terms of... Oh, yeah, we needed to actually have more production there. Maybe even add a couple more houses. Just for a little bit of extra population. I just kind of insta-upgraded to being the nicest house. Right, I think these are almost all standard houses at this point. How are we doing for pottery production versus... consumption? We might need a few more. Let's get one more clay pit along with one more brick ceramic workshop, and then we're going to need some extra clay mines and brick workshops there. No, industry is where I'm looking. Ceramic workshop, and again we'll just unpop the employment on those. We do have the workforce. Oh, it's that one for... Okay, so we've hit the population goal. Number of standard houses, that's fluctuating a bit at the moment, but hopefully a more steady supply of pottery will make that where we want it to be. 2 kilometers to go in terms of touching down to the surface. Gosh, okay. Still a lot of scary phases to go through then. Yeah, they have to do a lot of slowing down at the last minute. Well, we're just really not getting enough pottery production for it to be sat around in the warehouse for very long. But we're keeping the houses themselves satisfied, so I think we have enough production for the number of people we have. 24 out of 32. I think we need another couple of houses though. All these houses are upgraded, so we need, that's what, another 6 houses? Hope that we have enough production to cover that, but we should. It's down! Excellent! I mean, bearing in mind the signal we get from Mars is like a couple of minutes behind. Like 7 minutes or something. I'm glad it hasn't shared the fate of so many Mars probes. 30 out of 32. Did I miscalculate, or are there 2 houses that just haven't upgraded? I think I just didn't count right. There we go, those are just insta upgrading. So now we've got all the goals met apart from build a temple. So let's do that. So we're going to need some brick production now. First off, let's sort out where we're doing a warehouse. Presume we're going to... We'll maybe need a caravan to shift things around. We'll build the temple here. This seems like a nice, good, flat spot. I don't know how big this thing's going to be, but yeah. Right, so... clay mine. Warehouse. So that's just going to take the clay, but we'll also have that take some bricks, but we'll set it to export bricks. What are you meowing about, cat? What? Meow. So, brickworks, brickworks. Again, we'll just add extra production. And then we'll get the caravan to take or a caravan to take bricks from one to the other. Which I don't know if this is like, I'm guessing this is what you need to do. Have the bricks close to the work site. Also, I wonder if we can... I do notice we have nicer paths, which cost a little bit more. So I wonder if they walk a bit quicker, or if it's just a nicer... counts as being a nicer neighbourhood with nice paths. I'm guessing it's just aesthetic. Not that that seems to be a factor in the game just yet. Yeah, they'll be doing an awful lot of error checking, making sure everything is working like it should before they start doing any of the fancy science experiments. So, temple, how do we... Oh, okay. It's the classic R key to... So that's quite a big structure. We also have... Is that just a variation? I'm not sure what the difference is between the two. Custom design, template design. Ah! So that's a pre-built. So if I just do custom design, what comes up? Minimum area. Construction. Build a warehouse for monument construction materials. Okay, that has to be at least touching the... Okay. And that's going to collect bricks from... Well, it should collect bricks from there. Or does it need to take bricks from... Can we change that with the caravan? Ah, yes, we can. Okay, okay, so we can... say we want you to take bricks from one to the other. Okay, alright, so that acts as a depot. So we don't actually need that warehouse at all. Just wasted a whole bunch of bricks, but never mind. So that's the first step. So we should probably read the actual monuments thing first. Oh. No, that's... There we go. First phase is its placement. Each placement has a minimum and maximum area. So it's only the minimum area must be fully built up. It's also possible to place monuments in areas where some parts are occupied. Which presumably is that kind of middle part. All parts of the minimum area must be free. So yeah, okay, the middle part always has to be completely free. A warehouse, so we've built that. Warehouse must touch the area. Designing your monument. Right, so this is definitely a whole new thing. No, I've lost it. There we go. Because you know, in Pharaoh you just put down the pre-built monuments and that was that pretty much. So switch between active floors. Where are we? Price of the part currently being constructed, so that's all in brick. Name and requirements. And then, okay. So that's for moving and adding decorations. Right, let's give this a go. So we don't have a lot of styles at the moment, but it seems like we can at least have some colour options. Well, the colours seem a bit bold, I don't know. Should we do like red and white? Build selected floor. Also got special parts, so... Presumably you can only put those down once you've put down the actual kind of... Oh. Okay. So how do we want to do this? Some kind of outer wall and then maybe like an inner courtyard area? Oh, this isn't even like pre-planning, this is... Okay, we have to wait for more bricks to be delivered, I guess. Well, that's really brick intensive. Let's build some more... yeah. Ceramic and... Oh, that's the wrong one. Clay mines. Industry, there we go. No. There. I'll get the hang of it eventually, I swear. Honestly, I will. No, really. There don't seem to be the restrictions that there were with the older games in terms of people having to live close by to where they're employed. So they've not... Like, this isn't a carbon copy, it's not a clone of the older games, that's for sure. Right, how many bricks do we have here? That's the maximum. Right, each part seems to be, it's like 4 bricks. I'm going to build basically just an outer wall. And then have it be... Maybe have kind of like a central temple bit. And there's also... How do I place decorations? Don't know. So that's... Okay, we can use that to remove parts. Oh, I see. So we can like have different parts be different colours. I wonder if this can only... If this starting temple is just like a single level. Maybe? Oh no, well it can't be. It's saying height 1 of 3. So you're already getting a certain number of bricks delivered at a time. Can we not? Oh, there we go. What we can do is actually set that to times 3. So I'm going to hold it down. It's going at 12 times speed. And oh, here we go. Yeah, that's how you go up a level. Right, okay. Right, so how do I want to do this? Like some kind of big central... part, but maybe have it connected to the outer part. Right, we've met the minimum area requirement, but we don't... Oh! When you're trying to fill in bits like that, that's a bit tricky, actually. There we go. Right, can we make like an archway there? Is that... Oh, that's a door, okay. And I presumably would want a door at the front, but you can't... Is there a way to... Oh, that's the queue. You used to be able to... No. I swear you used to be able to change the map around so you could look at it from different angles. I mean, the actual position of the sprites, like, you'd turn around and the sprite would look exactly the same. But I swear you could actually turn the map around, or am I just completely making that up? Right, peel pollution. Oh, okay, yeah, those overlays. Appeal isn't actually enabled yet. Hey, Manty. Trying to figure out how to make a grand temple-style thing. And I don't know if I'm succeeding. Well, we'll put some doors at the front there, even though we can't necessarily see them if I can get it to... Man, that's super fiddly. Come on. Oh. And, yeah, right, so there's 2 doors at the front. We also have stairs as an option, so we can have like exterior stairs for people to go up. So yeah, we'll build another layer. Oh, hey, Boom. It's just too many good games at the moment. Like, this came out, which I've been actually following for the better part of a year. And then, like, Stellaris has got some big thing coming out, and I've also been playing with a lot of Stellaris mods, and, man, there's just all kinds of good stuff at the moment, so it's tough, you know? Right, middle layer.
So be it, Jedi.
That's not enough room for that there, apparently. Door there.
So be it, Jedi.
Ralak and Pimakiyar, thank you very much for the resubs. Might as well have a door into that level as well. And then if we go down, have more stairs there. I think we could have a stair there as well. Right, so that complete the monument. So there we go. We have built our grand temple, which I don't know if that's even entirely symmetrical, but can we even... Oh, we probably could have added some, like, nice bits. Sure, let's just pretend you're out of money, dun dun dun. It's fine. Yeah, we haven't actually got to the part where it's like, here's how you make money and here's taxes and stuff. Food with the bits, thank you very much, sir. There we go, some nice trees at the start, and you know, nice temple gardens.
So be it.
So yeah, I like this idea of, you know, like, customize your own monuments, but I think next time round I'd build it the other way round. It's just, you know, this way it's facing the houses.
So be it, Jedi.
So, next mission. Yeah, we'll do one more mission. I'm feeling we could do one more.
So be it, Jedi.
Balak with the gift subs, thank you very much. Yes, the Mars lander does seem to have successfully landed, so that's great.
So be it,
Because, you know, Mars, woo! Right, we're into the Nebuchadnezzar period, apparently. Probably saying that horribly wrong. 3100 to 2900 BC. This is definitely a bug, the fact that we're still getting the background chatter. Okay. So yeah, Valheim does look very, very tempting, I have to say. It absolutely looks tempting. I've heard a lot of good stuff about it. It's just, there are so many games! Right, so this is the last tutorialized mission. Social classes, pollution and appeal, prestige and trade. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of extra stuff gets thrown at us this time round. A new icon has appeared in the unemployment panel. Okay, so this is for different social strata. Right, so does that mean there's more kinds of... Yes! So kind of ordinary housing and then noble housing, I'm guessing, is what the villas are supposed to be. So that's, again, different from the Impressions games because you had one type of housing slot, but it was all to do with how desirable the area was. So, yeah. Oh, hey, Hildebrand. Right, so they've got different goods requirements, different requirements regarding the environment. So the appeal overlay is going to actually come into play at this point, presumably pollution as well. Nobody wants to live next to the polluting industrial stuff. And prestige, open the advisor tab to continue. So prestige presumably is how attractive my city is. Helps you build relations with other cities and helps you maintain them. So inhabitants, monuments, and volume of trade with other cities all contribute to prestige. And then we have trade. So we can now trade with cities. And again, fairly key mechanic from those Impressions games was being able to trade with other cities for materials you didn't necessarily have yourself. And I think early on, I can't remember, did you learn about taxation first, or was it more trade to generate income? I can't remember which was which came before the other. And I think this might be our main way of generating income in this mission. It seems like we now actually have to worry about money a bit. Right, so a lot of this is basically the mechanics I recognise. And we can also build a trade port, so yeah. Okay, well, I am actually just going to pause this, grab myself some more water before my throat goes completely dry. We'll be back in just a second. What? You're a very weird cat, you know that, Sam. Although, what's strange for a cat versus normal, I suppose. But yeah, come on, have a bicky. Let's see if we can get you in the box again. Meow. 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 Apparently we have a hype train thing going. I can't even click on the thing. Anyway, hooray! Well, then I have to find someone to run the damn thing. What? Is my problem, I suppose. Meow, meow, meow. Sam could run it. Would we trust a cat to moderate anything and not use their powers for evil? Because I think the answer to that question is no. No, we could not. Come on, in the box. You like boxes. You're a cat. Cat can into box. Go on, in the box. Or are you just going to sit and demand food at me? Right, okay. Same initial setup then. Or are you going to push the box around? Okay. Oh, we can get fish. Get fishing piers now as well. Okay. Let's start off setting up farm there. Oh, and we actually have different kinds of... Okay, dates or... Well, we'll just go with wheat to start with. I wonder if they have different growing seasons. So... build some houses in this rocky-ish area, so we're not going to get lots of like clay production or anything out of there. And houses are here, so I'll just start off with the basic houses. Should we just do one big block like I did last time? It simplifies things in terms of... Yep, first settlers, I know, in terms of the walker routes. Let's set up an extra strip of houses there as well. So, farm needs a warehouse. Which is there. No, I'll get it eventually, I swear I will. So that's going to be wheat and bread. So half and half. And food production. Bakery. I presume dates are going to be food stuff that you're nicer. Yeah, Ralk, it's exactly like that's 100% the vibe they've gone for. They've basically taken those games and a lot of the ways those games worked, and they've made a few refinements, but it's essentially a remake of those games without that much new stuff added. Look, just box. Sit in the box. Stop being an awkward cat. So, yeah. And it's not particularly expensive either. It was like £15. They're not asking a lot for it. Which is, I don't know, maybe a bit kind of pleasant in this day and age not to have a lot of money being asked for a game that's not necessarily maybe that good. Caravanserai. So that we're going to... Okay, we need the receiving warehouse set up. That's fine. So this is going to be... well, for this area, this is going to be the stuff we know they need. Let's set that to like 12 each. And we actually don't have enough population yet, but that's because we're not giving them anything. So services. Ah, we actually have a different market building as well. So I'll set up a bread route. And then we need a caravan to go bread to here, and we need to say that's accepting bread and that's outputting bread, so that's fine. So that's bread. Now we need to get milk on the go. Maybe even build even more houses. Just so we have enough working population. We could actually... I meant to do this before, but we'll turn the music on. And see how it sounds. Because it does actually have a soundtrack. Wow. Are you starving to death, poor boy? been, oh, hours and hours since he was fed. It's just shocking, Samuel, what you have to put up with. Good lord. Missing resources. Are they bringing the bread over? I set that up wrong? Oh no, I've put the wrong... Okay, that's supposed to be red and that's... Yeah, I didn't set that to be the right thing. Okay, that's my fault. There we go. Right. So, yeah, milk. So we need a livestock farm. We could put there, that's fine. In fact, if we put that one closer, slightly decreases the area we can use, but it then puts it within range, so the milk can go there directly. So not super efficient, but that's going to start producing milk, which will go to there, and then we can just go have another walker. So that should get us to the next level of houses. The original civilization? That's a bit weird. It's not really anything like the original Civ games. It's very kind of old school isometric graphics, I'll give it that. Right, oh, I was looking at the wrong thing. I was looking at that, but no, we've got loads of workers. Right, so that's fine. We could actually get rid of that and have another have another hauler there. In this case, the hauler's not having to walk very far to the bakeries, so that should be fine. But in that case, having to walk a bit further. Right, so that's some basic setup, but I think we're going to need more. Game mechanics and graphics. Well, if you never played the Impressions games, then I suppose, yeah, you wouldn't necessarily have anything to directly compare it to. Yeah, I mean, apart from the fact that the resolution of them doesn't work, like it's hard to get them into modern resolutions, but the older Impressions games, gameplay wise and visually, still actually hold up really quite nicely. I've actually got, hang on, give me a second. This is definitely going to be a nostalgia trip, but give me a second. Right, I don't know how... Oh, I've done something there. I don't know how well this is going to show up on the webcam, but this box has got to be like 2 decades old or something at this point. So it was a double pack of, I don't know how well that's showing, a double pack of Caesar 3 and Pharaoh. This was even before Queen of the Nile came out. So Yeah, it's basically those two. Remember when games came in boxes like this? These big, huge, chunky boxes and had big, huge, chunky manuals. And we just turned into one of those PC nostalgia channels, apparently. Look at that. Look how thick this manual is. And it had like a poster in it of the game map, and just, I don't know. I don't have a lot of these old boxes, but I've got a couple. Most of the PC games I've got when they started to move to dual cases and stuff, but I've just got a couple that are old enough that it's this older, big, chunky style. I kind of miss them in a way, but at the same time, you know, they took up an awful lot of shelf space. But yeah, so I still have original discs of Caesar 3 and Pharaoh, and original boxes. The only other couple I've got, I think I've got one for Civ 3, and I've got one for, I think, Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri? Something like that. So, yeah, that's a bit nostalgic. There's the one for Caesar 3, just for completeness, might as well show you that as well. So, yeah. You're not impressed, are you, Sam? Old video games, it's all well and good, but it's not a bowl full of biscuits, is it? It's not a bowl full of biscuits, which is what you really want. Right, so, we need more milk, more bread. I think more milk than... Oh, well, a mix of both, actually. Some houses are not really getting enough of either. So we might need to do some irrigation. We certainly have enough wheat being stored, so we could probably even get another bakery going for that one. That one farm we've got there. In terms of milk production, though, I think we probably do just need another. And that's going to involve some irrigation. So let's get a livestock farm built, say. Oh, there's fine. That's fairly close to the thing, so we won't need a lot of irrigation for that. Banished. Oh yes, Banished. No, yeah, I've played Banished. I've got Banished. I've actually, there's a it's going back to like when it first came out at this point. But yeah, there's a video of it on the channel somewhere. And there's some really good mods for that as well that have given it a lot of extra life compared to when it first came out. Right, so that one's milk. Oh. So we want that to export, so we'll want to caravan that to there. That's fine. And then we need to actually build... Oh, yeah, no, wait, we need the irrigation first. Duh. But we can just have that go all the way around. Why not? Right, oh, that's a rocky bit. That's why that can't be irrigated, but never mind. $32, 40, 46. So that's enough for one more there. So that's accepting milk, which we then need to caravan over. I quite like this system. It's relatively, once you've got the hang of it, relatively intuitive. Meow. Meow. Yeah, it's like there's a reason some of these older games, like God, when did Transport Tycoon Deluxe come out? That must have been like the original Transport Tycoon was like 1995 or something like that, and Open Transport Tycoon is still going strong, and it also inspired Simutrans as well. So not just one but two games. Right, are we? I think we're producing. We might need another wheat farm at some point. It surprised me for so long that there had never been an attempt to make an open source remake of something like Theme Hospital as well, which is another one that you can still buy and still enjoy today, even though again doesn't really play nicely at modern resolutions. But yeah, it wasn't really until was it like 2 years ago that they came out with in fact there was two games. There was one that was more kind of cartoony like the original Theme Hospital, and then there was another hospital management thing that was a lot more serious, and I can't remember. One of them was like, was it 2 Point Hospital was the kind of cartoony one, and then there was another one that was something. Can't remember what it was called at all. Right, how are we doing? Bread's looking better. For some houses anyway. But I think we just built maybe a few too many houses to start with. What are you? Oh, we haven't told them to unload milk. So they're loading it there, but they're not unloading it there, so okay. Right, so milk production fine, but we might need another wheat farm. It's relatively, well, the early missions are relatively kind. They're not terribly demanding. Or at least I wouldn't say they are. Right, if we build, say, that there. And just need another warehouse, which is services. No, not services. Logistics. I'll figure out where everything is eventually. No, really, honestly, I will. Right, irrigation canal just really needs to be on this side. That's fine. This is going to be another wheat farm. 34. 58. Again, not the most efficient setup, but never mind. So this is going to accept just wheat, and we'll set that for export. And we'll have this caravan go move wheat from... Oh! Wheat from there to there. We need to configure that to accept wheat. Or maybe put that down and put that up a bit. Yeah, I don't know what the later game is like. I mean, this has just been going through the earlier campaign missions and having it tutorialise a bit at me. Right, so I think now we've got, this looks like we've got stable supply of milk and bread going. We need to think about trade to make some money. So they want pottery. They want... oh, they're exporting. Or is that us exporting to them? Oh, I see. So it has on each side. So this presumably is us exporting to them. That's what we can import. But let's double check that because it will presumably tell us. Export offers... oh, okay, that's what they're offering to export and that's what they want to import. And you have to gift them a certain amount as well. So who wants to import stuff? Ooh. It looks like just this city here who wants to import bricks. But we don't have enough prestige to have contact with them so far. So it looks like we can only import stuff, not export stuff. If I'm understanding this correctly. Oh no, wait, it's the other way around. The goods are exported from our city. Oh, that wasn't terribly clear to me. Okay, so no, that's fine. We can export to. So pottery and bricks we can export at the moment. Right, okay, okay. I understand now. So we have plenty of workforce. We'll have this be more of an industrial area. I want to keep all that stuff over here. And then I'm thinking we'll build the nicer villas over in this area. What was the population goal? It was like 10,000. Oh no, it wasn't even that much. It was money 10,000. Population 3,000. Okay. 10,000 would be quite a big city in this time frame, really. Which is funny because the main town on the island, Stornoway, is about 10,000 people. And you wouldn't think of that as being some kind of huge metropolis, but, you know, once upon a time, it would have been. Right, are we not quite stable with the deliveries? Right, some of these end houses are not quite getting the bread they need, apparently. We do have a steady flow incoming of both milk and bread, so it should be fine. We can even get another bakery going there. Certainly now that we have this second wheat farm going. They're all going at maximum output. Good, good. Right, so we need to get some clay going so we can export bricks and pots. Oh, interesting. We can't... oh, no, wait, that's because that's farmland. Duh. That'll be why. Warehouse. Yep, we want that to accept clay. Also, what's going to sell for more, bricks or pottery? I mean, pottery we need for ourselves as well. Right, they want... they'll take 80 bricks annually for 18. They'll take 90 annually for 18. I guess we'll go with the bricks to start with. So we'll have this also accept bricks. And then we have to get a port set up, so that's our next step. That's fine. Right, we need to actually flip that around. Right, that's kind of limited as to where we can put it, apparently. Oh, wrong way, right. So that can go there. That's slightly out of the way. Presume we're going to need a caravan to move stuff from there to there. Oh, we can't lay a walkway over the... Okay. Right. Oh, actually, no, that's really awkward. Hang on. Have to be there. Don't actually have a way to get a path to it, because of course that's all fields. So it's fine. I'm just wasting all of the money. Yeah, I guess that's the closest. Right, open trading settings. So we'll need to get 30 bricks to send them just to get them to work with us, basically, or want to buy from us to begin with. Oh, I can't... How do I do this? Do I need to have a warehouse near the port? Tell you what, let's look at the thing and see what it needs. Or can it not itself... Ah, so we need warehouses nearby, so we just need to put a warehouse down. Okay. So we're just moving stuff from one warehouse to another. So that's our port warehouse, which at the moment is just accepting bricks. And we'll set that to exporting bricks. So we go from there to there. They can move 20 at a time. Hey, Ed Beaver. Right, that's a bit of an inefficient route, but anyway. That's 20 out of 36. Presumably they need to all be in the port warehouse. Right, sold. Well, not sold, but we've sent them a bunch of bricks. Oh. What have I... right, so we've got a little thing there marked that... So we're actually now selling to them, but our relations are not very good at the moment. And presumably as they improve, we'll actually start to make... Okay, so we get 2 trading ships per year. And presumably that's one of them. They'll take whatever bricks we have up to the maximum number. Maybe. I think once I've cleared this level, I'm going to end the stream there, because I don't even know how long this is going to take me, but we've been going for nearly 2.5 hours anyway, so would be a good cut-off point. Okay, we still don't have the most... Like, let's build more bakeries. Don't have the best bread supply at the moment. Well, we are doing fine for wheat, I think. So that's A-okay. That's busy collecting bricks, so that will sit and collect bricks until trading boats come along. And we'll make a bit of cash off that. I can even look at our overlays. Oh yeah, there we go. So it actually tells me how the houses are doing for both bread and milk, and you can see it changes as the walker goes past. So I don't think we would want too much bigger of an area than that, or many more houses than that in terms of distribution. And I presume the walker has a finite amount of the goods with them as well. So yeah, they can carry 40 at a time. Oh no, wait, that's the number of workers. Does it say how much they... I mean, that's how much is stored actually in the... I don't know. I don't quite know how much of that they carry versus... I don't know. It's not the clearest. Right, so... well, maybe actually just set that for... bread and milk, and then have a separate warehouse for pottery. Not yet. Right, so water is going to be our next step for these houses. And that's going to be in food, no? Where's water hiding? Well, there we go, that's in services. And I think we can probably just set up 2 workers. Aha, right, city requests. This is a thing the old games used to do as well. They want 26 units of fish. They can wait for a while. We don't actually have any fishing wharves set up, so we'll have to do that, I guess. We don't actually need fish at the moment, but... I need another caravan, aren't I? Right, even before they have workers or pathing. So, logistics, so we need a warehouse for the fish, for the little fishy fishes. And that can just sit and collect those for now. Does the market take... No, presumably it's the villas that will want fish and figs and things. Hey, Cacklin. Right, that looks like it's working fine. We need another caravanserai. And we're going to need a fig farm, I presume. We also need pottery. Actually, we'll get pottery done first before we start setting up the nicer houses. So we've got brick production going on over here. We didn't even set the extra workers for those. And bricks, of course, we will need for when we... I presume we have to build a monument? No, we don't, but we can. We could indeed build a temple, which would be nice and prestigious, and presumably people would want to live next to a temple. So that's supposed to be... I don't know. I thought it was like somehow the baskets were floating in a little pool of water inside the thing. But no, it's like blue cloth or something. Right, anyway. Pottery. Pottery was what we were doing. Getting distracted. So we need couple of clay mines. Probably more than that, to be honest. We need a warehouse that's set up to take clay and pottery. Just have that accept a little bit of clay. Make it mostly pottery. Why is that saying that's... Oh, yeah, of course it's not connected. It's like one away from the... There we go. I mean, last time it named a specific god. I don't think we have had a... It's not mentioned anything this time. Oh, that's because that's full. Have I done... Oh yeah, we can fulfill the fish request. That's fine, we've done that. Well, they should be coming to pick up bricks. That is listed as being... Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, oh, I could bung extra people in there, but we're starting to run a bit low on unemployment. But once we get pottery going, we'll have a big number of incoming workers. So we need some ceramic workshops now. So that's fine and dandy. And then we need another warehouse. Just plonk it there. We'll say this one can get pottery up to... I don't even know how much. Actually, we'll say I get mostly pottery, but we'll have it get a bit of milk as well. Okay, and then we need extra pottery caravan to go from there to there. That's fine. We need to make sure the pottery is set for export. And then we need to get some houses to upgrade. Oh, we also need another... We also need a pottery walker. Oh, don't like that. Okay, that's fine, right. So we should see some houses start to upgrade, and then we're going to need to upgrade our actual pottery production. And we could probably do with yet another bakery as well. Some of that new population that's moving in. So there we go, those are all upgrading to normal houses now. How many did we need? It was a bunch. 32 standard villas. Oh no, not standard. Yeah, standard villas, so not houses. We're going to have plenty of workforce anyway. Yeah, Sam is being a bit, you know, demanding right now, aren't you, Sam? Demands both food and attention, possibly both at the same time. Right, should be doing okay for pottery production. Bread production should be up a little bit as well. That's fine. He's just super well camouflaged. He's actually in the box. No, honestly, really. I could give him some biscuits, I suppose. Live on-stream cat feeding. Just the kind of thing you don't get on other streams, you know? Right, how are these doing for some more clay workers? Right, so that is going fine. That's... yeah, having the industrial end of the map is basically, you know, that's an extremely familiar thing from playing the old games, is you have certain areas that are less desirable. Meow. 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 You're not going to give up, are you? Meow. Give me a second. We're gonna do the thing live on stream feeding of hungry cats. They won't shut up. Come on. Come on. Come here. Anyway. Right, what we were doing. Pottery. Let's have a look at the pottery overlay, actually. Very inconsistent at the moment. I think we might just need a second market, to be honest. So our distribution's a lot more even. Bricks. They want bricks. We can send bricks. That's fine. That'll help our relation. So yeah, let's build that there. Just have them give the same things. So it's probably not the most efficient, but you know, it's fine. Bit of overlap is okay. And then that can consistently stay at that level. I know! I'm so cruel, Ralak! I never feed him. I beat him. I constantly, like, poke him with sticks. He's got nowhere comfy to sleep. He's got no toys to play with. It's just the height of cruelty. I don't know how he copes. Surprised he's not run away from home a long time ago. Right, I hope that's now nice and stable. Pottery production could be a bit better. I think we could do with another clay pit and... well, we are! We're just not moving the pottery fast enough. I think we could probably just err on the safe side and have one more clay mine and one more pottery workshop. Right, so that is that. Now we need some villas. And now we have to figure out what people in villas want, so we'll maybe build a bit of a separated area and just again build a line of villas. So it wants 32. So that would be 30 plus, say, like 2 at the end there. We'll build the nicer road here as well. We could also start trying to export pottery, but I don't think we have enough pottery for that. So presumably they also need, they're going to need water. And figs and fish. So how do we get people to move into the nicer areas? Fish is just kind of stacking up in the warehouses at the moment. Oh, there we go. Now we've got people moving. Oh, no, they're just some people moving into the regular houses. Do people promote? How does this work? Ah! Yes? No? Oh, no, that just tells me exactly how many are... How do we get people to move in? So why are these houses demoting? Pottery's not, still not. Enough. ATAM! Well, that clashes so much, but anyway. Hello, ATAM. How was your, I presume, warship stream? I think we're producing enough clay to get another pottery workshop down there. Yeah, we're doing old-fashioned style city buildings.
Jedi.
And a resub as well. Thank you very much, ATAM. Right, we're trying to figure out how to get posh houses built. How to make the posh people live in the posh houses. Maybe I just have to get my prestige higher? I'm not sure. It's not particularly clear. Do we have to get the appeal levels up? Maybe. I don't know if we're like, how are we actually exporting bricks? I honestly can't tell. Is there something I need to have been doing here? I mean, bricks and pottery are the main kind of things we have available to export anyway. Oh, I just... Okay. Well, you can really have that spread out if you want. Interesting little interface quirk. Display port range, trading settings. Don't know if I'm missing something here. Yeah, we were just saying that. Yeah, Caesar, Pharaoh, Zeus, and Emperor, the Rise of the Middle Kingdom. There was a whole series of games. Or basically running on more or less the same formula. Oh, wait. Oh, was that what I was missing doing? So... yeah, let's go for the maximum export. Okay, we weren't actually exporting. Okay, now we've set that to properly export, we'll actually start to make some money from exports. Well, he's wandered off again. I fed him, and now he's just buggered off. Where are you, cat? Cat. What? Go in the box. No, he immediately went for the bowl thinking there was more food. No, there's no more food. That's it. That's your supper. I know. You're so deprived. I know. So deprived. You poor, poor thing. I do feel so sorry for you. Ah, here we go. Right, excellent. Exporting is happening. And that's making us some cash. I was worried I was going to run out of cash. So my theory is that I need to... well, we're going to need a standard market here. We're going to need water. Presumably that would be... that's just fish and figs? Do they not need, like... pottery and all the rest of it as well? I guess not. They don't even need to have their own... maybe the villas have their own water supply? I don't know how this works. So, make the area nice, I guess. It's a pity it's not like you would add, like the way gardens worked. At least in Pharaoh, and I think other games as well, as if you built bigger ones, they would form... they would look different, basically. But it's just places clumps of little ones next to each other. And we can plonk down some grass as well, make things nice and grassy. Does that improve the appeal? Is this having any effect? Aha! Yes, it is. Okay. So if I put down, say, a bunch of nice lawn... oh no! Okay, I spent a bit too much money there apparently. So grass has the effect of increasing appeal. Okay. 28 units of bread from so that will increase our relations quite nicely. How do we get people to... There's no pollution. Do we just literally need to have the dates and the fish available before they'll move in? Right, so in which case we need a warehouse that will take dates and fish. So, dates and fish, and both set to accept. We'll have... there, and then we've already got fish sat up in a warehouse, so we can start doing fish there immediately. And that's set to export, and that's set to import. There we go. So they're now going to toddle around with the fish. But presumably I also need the dates before they'll actually start building there. I need some kind of date farm, basically. So, I guess up here, this is relatively close to infrastructure we have already. Crop farm. Need a bit of irrigation though. And irrigation is, there we go. Fine, and then I'll be a 2-pump system at least. Oh, again I built road when I didn't mean to build road. Right, we want dates this time. And oh, apparently we only need the 3 for that lot. Is that right? Yes, apparently. And then we need another warehouse, or can we use this warehouse as well? Actually, I think we'll have a separate warehouse because the caravans move stuff in lots of 20. So it's more efficient, I guess, just to have a whole separate warehouse. Again, we'll need to set up the logistics of that. So dates from there to from there to there, and that's set up to receive dates. Yes, Sam is a bit, you know, he's normally very nice, but sometimes he's a bit enthusiastic with the claws. Oh, did I already set that up? No? That's fine. Right, we may end up needing another market. Fish we seem to be okay. I guess figs, as they're seasonal, we might need another fig farm. Yeah, I quite like this music. Oh, here we go. I am quite liking this music. So yeah, we just needed to provide the stuff to get people to move in, but we need a more reliable supply. In fact, let's get another fish wharf built. Squeeze that in there, that's fine. We're exporting pretty much most of our bricks at the moment. And I think we're getting more pottery than we're using, so we can maybe think about exporting some pottery also. Who wanted pottery? Also, let's actually just see how we're doing. Population, trade 4, monument 0, prestige 60. It's about half what it needs to be. So we probably will need to build a temple. We're going to need some more. I don't think we can build grass on. It's weird, they use stuff even though there's nobody living there yet. But I guess that's just how the game calculates this. I think we definitely need more fig production. Oh! Just meant to build that there. Yeah, I wish there was a little more variety in how those looked, but oh well. Right, I think we might just want another market. But first, let's get another fig farm built. Crop farm. Let's build that there. We're going to need a bit of... Actually, we can maybe just not bother making that, like bringing a bunch of stuff around there. Oh, they want 21 bricks. I don't think we have enough bricks at the moment. We're producing over here, we're producing more clay than we are bricks, so we could just about squeeze in. Kind of running low on unemployed population in terms of, you know, workforce, but none of the brickworks there. We actually need a few more of these regular houses. Squeeze some in there. Oh, actually, that's a bad spot. That's actually not going to be served by anybody. There, it will do. Maybe build an extra little bit of road there, just so they're going that little bit less far to deposit the fish. So I think still not quite reliable over at this side of the... Although, that's actually looking not too bad now. Yeah, it's figs are the main thing, but now we've got this extra farm going, figs shouldn't be a problem anymore. Also, do I see requests? There we go. I've dispatched that request for bricks. I think we're selling as many bricks as we're making, just about. And we could probably have yet another brickworks. We might want to think about building a temple just to get our prestige suitably boosted up. Like that seems to be ticking along nicely. Might want another fishing wharf. Or are we doing okay for fish? I think we're doing okay for fish. they just need a nicer surrounding. Yeah, I think that's the problem with some of these, is they just need nicer surroundings. So we could... These clearly don't radiate very far in terms of the extra, you know, the boost that they give. Yeah, there we go. So we're going to have to take out some of these that I've built. Add some little garden areas in. There we go. Okay, yeah, that was the trick. Not too sure why those haven't. Maybe they just didn't have enough. Nipper wants to start trading. 100 wheats, 30 bread. They will take wheat. I don't know if I'm that interested, to be honest. It's like pottery's the one I kind of want to start trading. Uruk takes pottery. How are we doing for... No, I think we can get away with maybe even just one more pottery workshop. And we can build another warehouse up here. Say this is just for pottery, and then have I got a spare caravan spot left? Yes. I wonder, can you set up multiple? No, we probably don't want to do that, but you can do that. Can have them visit multiple warehouses, but we don't want to interrupt that flow of pottery there necessarily. Okay. So let's set up a separate supply from there to there, and we'll limit this to, say, like 20. And in theory, we just need a bit more pottery and we can just send them. There we go. Send them pottery. And how did I bring up the export page again? Oh, here we go. We'll sell them less, just because we don't want to be selling all of our pottery. So that should bring us in more cash. For some reason, a couple of these villas aren't quite upgrading. That should pop that one. These two, for some reason, will not. This is definitely not the most efficient layout, but I didn't quite understand how they worked when I was putting this down, so now I know a bit better. So we need a few more villas, basically. I might be able to squeeze in. I think we could have a couple along here. Where are we at in terms of... no, it's that one. 27, so we need another 5 villas. And we can fit in a couple. That'd be, say, 3 there. We can have 1 there as well. Earl wants 27 bread, which we can just afford. Houses. That's 4. Could squeeze the extra 1 in there. And get some extra little gardenage built. That's just waiting for fish to arrive. So that's all the villas. Money is steadily ticking up with the exports. And now we just need prestige, I think. So we could maybe think about building a temple. We might just use the template this time. Bit of road going through on that side. Right, so we need the site office doodad. Put there. And then we can directly put bricks in that, but we're going to need another caravanserai. I suppose there's any way we can squeeze an extra... I don't know, we should have enough workforce for that. So... Caravanserais in logistics. I want bricks from this warehouse to there. So that's fine. That should start just like that's kind of like that's yeah, that's just going to collect the bricks it needs to build automatically, and that should bump up my prestige to the max level needed. Which will impact my exports a bit because we're all now also using the bricks to build this thing, but yeah. Otherwise, we're just ticking along where we need to be. Got the pop, money is slowly accumulating from exports, and I hope this will be enough to push me over the edge in terms of prestige. Otherwise, I'll need to build some more houses. What other things affected prestige again? Let's have a quick check. Trade. So we could trade. We could try and trade a bit more as well. Or maybe even try and build some more villas. Those pops provide more prestige. Ceramics. I don't think we can... We would have to stop exporting ceramics before I can fulfill that request. Oh, that's the wrong one. Oh, almost. We're kind of... There we go. I can set that back to export. Oh. Wow, that temporarily downgraded. probably because I, gave away most of our ceramics.
So be it, Jedi.
Mr. J, thank you very much for the resub. It is appreciated. I don't know if paths genuinely have an effect like they used to. You used to be able to put down fancy plaza tiles that looked very colourful, that would have a little bump to the... in fact, you could put down double paths with the plaza tiles that would... you'd get this nice kind of boulevard effect. So there's definitely some things from the older games that are not here. Why are you downgrading? Pottery. Guess we need to limit how much pottery we are exporting. Food's keeping up fine, it's just pottery's a little bit strained. Certainly doing okay with figs. Bricks are just kind of slowly being split between exports, and we can actually even maybe decrease the amount of bricks we're exporting. Oh, that's where's the export screen? We kind of like halve our exports. Who else could we export to? They'll take wheat and figs. I think we're producing more figs than we need, but I'm a little hesitant to export those just because I don't want to introduce... they're seasonal, so I don't want to necessarily introduce shortages. I could though. Okay, let's set up to export some figs. We don't have enough prestige to initiate. Oh, we can't actually do that yet anyway, so never mind. Just wait for that thing to build. Probably squeeze a villa in here actually. Oh, although that actually downgraded that. That's okay. No, maybe not. Oh, is that one not going to? That's fine. Right, we can squeeze in one more villa. Prestige is actually sinking a little bit. Right, I don't know if I can squeeze more houses into what we've got. I might need to build an extra little bit of housing. And maybe just provide it with the more basic level of goods. Just so we have a few more workers. Oh, we don't need to do anything too nuts. Right, so we just need to bump up our pottery production a bit. Say a clay mine there. Not very awkward little everything. And a ceramic workshop. Could bump the number of workers we've got up a little bit as well by market there. We'll just give them bread and milk. 28 fish, yeah, we can easily afford that. Right, so those houses should... oh, no, they won't. Missing upgrades. Oh, not missing upgrades, missing the wrong place. There we go. That's what we need it to be in range of. So we have a few more workers. We can expand the clay pit and pottery workshop there. Prestige now 90. This is busy. Just being built in the background. Don't leave. Is it pottery again? It probably is. Just the fact we're trying to export it at the same time as right, we'll have this warehouse take a small number of figs. I don't know if that's in range. I think we might have to use the caravanserai that we've built. Even though they're practically next to each other. We gotta do this. So that's kind of overflow and export for figs. Hopefully once this temple is done, it'll give me that bump I need for prestige. Up to over 90 prestige now. Rook wants 20 fish, that's fine. We're definitely overproducing fish. In fact, is there anybody that wants to... No. Fish isn't a regular export good. Right, so our relations with them have improved to the point where they're now sending more trading ships and we're getting slightly better prices, which is quite nice. So I just need a little more prestige and I can bump my prestige even higher by exporting figs. This is definitely, like, in terms of, like, there's some little differences here and there, and then there's some slightly bigger differences, but overall it very much is the feeling of those old games for me, at least so far. Except with a bit less jank in terms of the UI and the interface. This is down to the last 50 odd bricks now, this is almost done. I can't even turn off the... Hang on, can I tab out without it? Oh yes, okay. Turn off the Sam cam for now. Seeing as how he doesn't want to grace us with his presence anymore. He's too good for the likes of us. So this is nearly finished. Fingers crossed this gives us enough of a bump. $28 pottery. No, we don't have enough for that. Although pottery production is definitely better than it was. Yay! There we go. Mission complete. Right, so that was in fact enough. I'm not actually. Oh, that's a little slight bug there. So yeah, I think we'll wrap things up there. I've been going for over 3 hours, nearly 3.5 hours, and it really does. You know, I've certainly had all the memories of playing the old games come back to me. So yeah, it's very much in that vein. It's not doing anything super new. Like I said earlier, it's definitely an iterative game rather than anything that's trying to push the genre. In fact, if anything, it's relying on the nostalgia of people like me who played the older games to get some traction, and maybe it'll find some new fans as well, because there's not many of those older Impressions games that you can actually play on modern operating systems. In fact, I think it's only the Emperor one that will play on Windows 10 nicely, and otherwise things like Pharaoh, it just crashes a lot, sadly. So let's find somebody to throw a raid to. Let's do the usual thing. Who is doing what at the moment? Let's have a look-see. Virtual Senpai is doing some ranked apparently, so let's send you over to Virtual Senpai, and I shall, you know, go and have something to eat probably, because it's got to be late now. Yeah, nearly 11. So I hope you have all enjoyed watching me play this. Hopefully you have enjoyed the gameplay, you found it interesting. And if you want to check it out on Steam, like I said earlier, it's not very expensive at all. It was like £15. So, might be worth a punt if you think it looks good. So, that's it. Hopefully you've enjoyed yourselves. And I'll catch you next time.